We often hear about the importance of freedom of speech and the rights of LGBT plus individuals. But what happens when these two ideas collide? Recently, the Supreme Court made a decision about a web designer in Colorado who didn't want to make websites for same-sex weddings. Welcome to Principled Patriots. In this video, I want to talk about why this ruling supports freedom of speech while also preventing discrimination. I'll also explain why I don't believe it goes against the rights of gay couples who want to get married. Now let me give you some background information. There's a graphic and website design company called 303 Creative, owned by a woman named Ms. Smith. She has plans to offer wedding services in the future, but she has a strong belief rooted in her Christian faith. She thinks that creating websites celebrating same-sex marriages goes against her religious beliefs and her understanding of marriage. So Ms. Smith wants to make it clear through a statement that she won't provide those services. However, she hasn't actually taken any action yet because she doesn't want to break a state law called the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act, CADA. This law forbids discrimination based on sexual orientation in public places. Ms. Smith strongly believes that CADA violates her freedom of speech and freedom of religion. As a result, she has decided to challenge the law by taking the matter to the United States District Court and then the Supreme Court. Now, no matter what the court decides and no matter what you personally think about this case, there's something we should admire about Ms. Smith. Instead of breaking the laws she believes are unconstitutional, she's taking a different approach. She's challenging those laws in a legal way. Instead of just going against the laws right away, she's using the proper channels to argue her case and make her point. This shows a commitment to following the legal process and seeking change through the appropriate means. The rule of law is a basic principle that helps make sure our society is fair and just. It means that everyone, including the government, has to follow the law. When people challenge laws using legal methods, they're showing respect for this principle. They're using the established legal processes to address their concerns or complaints. By challenging laws through legal means, individuals have a chance to protect their rights and freedoms. Going through a legal battle lets them present their arguments and evidence in a formal setting. The courts can carefully evaluate whether the laws in question are fair and follow the rules set by the Constitution. Challenging laws through legal means helps keep our society stable and orderly. It allows for a systematic and organized approach to dealing with concerns about laws. By working within the legal system, people can contribute to finding a peaceful solution and avoid unnecessary conflicts. When unconstitutional laws are challenged through legal means, it can set important examples for future decisions. Court rulings can establish interpretations of the law and guide how it should be applied. This ensures consistency and predictability. By challenging laws using legal methods, individuals can have a long-lasting impact on how laws are understood and enforced, benefiting everyone in society. Challenging laws through legal means also respects the democratic processes we have in place. It recognizes that laws are made by elected representatives or through established procedures. By seeking justice through the courts or getting involved in advocacy, individuals can contribute to the democratic conversation and work towards change within the existing legal system. Now let's look at the actual case itself. Ms. Smith and Colorado agree that she will serve anyone, regardless of their protected class status, such as race, creed, sexual orientation, and gender. However, Ms. Smith has a limit when it comes to creating expressive content that goes against her religious beliefs. She will decline requests to create content that contradicts her beliefs, demeans others, promotes immoral behavior, supports abortion, incites violence, or promotes a different concept of marriage than the one she believes in, which is between one man and one woman. Colorado argues that even though they support Ms. Smith's right to refuse certain messages, they believe she should still have to create websites celebrating same-sex weddings if she's willing to create websites for opposite-sex weddings. This is seen as a violation of Ms. Smith's freedom of speech because it would force her to create content that goes against her beliefs. During the argument, an example was given where a heterosexual wedding planner asked Ms. Smith to design websites for both opposite-sex and same-sex weddings. Ms. Smith's lawyer confirmed that she would not create a same-sex wedding website for a heterosexual client. The websites Ms. Smith creates are not just actions, but they are considered a form of speech. They combine text, graphics, and videos to express her message and interpretation of marriage as between one man and one woman. This makes them a type of expressive speech protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. Ms. Smith's rights don't disappear just because she receives payment for her speech. Artists and creators who sell their work still enjoy First Amendment protection. Ms. Smith's custom websites should not be seen as commercial speech, which has more limited protection. Even if art is created for money, it is still protected under the First Amendment. Colorado's law compels Ms. Smith to create wedding websites for same sex couples, which goes against her deeply held principles and beliefs. This is an example of compelled speech, where the government forces individuals to express ideas or messages they disagree with. The ability to choose what to say or not say is essential in a free society, and forcing people to endorse ideas they find objectionable is demeaning. Compelled speech also undermines other First Amendment freedoms, like freedom of association, freedom of the press, and freedom of religion. So, in summary, if someone wants to pay you to say something that goes against your beliefs, you have the right to refuse. It's your constitutional right. Personally, I support this ruling because it follows a logical principle: the separation of the customer and speech. You must treat all customers equally, but they can't force you to say things you don't agree with. You can't turn down customers based on their sexuality, but you can refuse to say something they asked for as long as you do it regardless of their sexuality. Is this a violation of gay marriage rights? I don't think so. Having a website isn't necessary to get married. Lastly, let's think about the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. If a gay person owns a web design shop and a homophobic customer wants to create a website promoting hate against the LGBTQ+ community, do you think the gay owner should have the right to say no? In my opinion, this should be an absolute yes. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching Principled Patriots. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot to an infant channel like mine. I wish every principled patriot a happy 4th of July. Thank you.